Well, to talk a bit about how best to combat this outbreak of Ebola, I'm pleased to say that Ariel Kestens joins me on the programme now. He's the head of the International Federation of the Red Cross in Kinshasa, which is the capital of the Democratic Republic of Congo. Hello to you and thanks for speaking to France 24.
Thank you very much for having me with you this time.
Look, this is a region of the continent that has lived through outbreaks of Ebola before. As we heard in our report there, this is the 17th outbreak in DR Congo. As an expert in this, though, how concerned are you about what we're seeing at the moment?
We are very concerned of what we are seeing at the moment, among other things, because the outbreak is spreading very fast, not only in the epicenter areas, but also, there is already a case which is isolated in Kampala, in neighboring Uganda, but also a suspected case in Kinshasa, which has also been isolated. The drivers behind this fast spread of the outbreak in this time is got to do, among other things, with the migrant population in the affected areas where the epicenters are, driven by workers, transitional workers in mines there, also driven by conflict that displays different group of people, and also by the fact that Bunia, the capital of the province, is part of a commercial corridor that connects with the rest of the country, DR Congo, but also with neighboring countries like South Sudan and Uganda. On top of that layer, we have to mention that this particular strain of the virus, there is no vaccine for it. So the containment will have to be focused on letting the communities know what are the measures that they are taking, but also stopping rumors, right?
Yeah.
There is another layer of complexity to this.
No, go ahead.
There is another layer of, I was saying, there is another layer of complexity to this epidemic, which is the insecurity in that area, right?
Yes, and regarding that insecurity, Mr. Kestens, what are the limitations of your staff, the Red Cross teams, able to do on the ground? Because this is an area, as you've alluded to, where there is active conflict. There are groups that are backed by the Islamic State that are moving around, and we have seen mass movements of people in the not so recent past. So is that impeding the capacity of your teams and the Red Cross to operate properly?
Obviously, the capacity to operate properly of our volunteers is not the same like if they were in a context without conflict. However, given the fact that there is conflict there for a certain time already, and the fact that our volunteers are volunteers from the same community, they are the neighbor, the schoolmate, the same professional that they encounter at the work, they have a certain degree of capacity to mobilize relatively freely among the different communities, of course, taking all the security and safety precautions that this type of effort require at the local level in full coordination with the authorities and the different stakeholders or actors in the conflict.
And just a final question for you then, on conflict and the challenges that conflict is posing now. And we do have one case that's been confirmed today in the Congolese city of Goma. That is a city that is under the control not of the Congolese government, but of rebels from the M23 movement. Are there particular challenges, whether that's for the Red Cross or another organization, of assessing what's happening there, of containing the virus there, given that the government doesn't have much access?
Containing the virus is our priority number one now, and it's mostly about trusted communication with communities. And that trusted communication with community and the delivery of trusted messages can be done by trusted institutions. The Red Cross is one of the trusted institutions that is already in the Eastern DRC, operating at different levels from the communities up with volunteers across the community. In that sense, messages are being delivered, rumors are being stopped, and the volunteers are collaborating with the de facto authorities in the surveillance, community-based surveillance, as well as in the contact tracing. Of course, that decentralization of the information posed a challenge because of the different authorities. However, the actual work of containing the outbreak, of containing the outbreak at this stage is taking place independently of the different conflict or actors in the conflict.
All right, thank you so much for giving us a little clarity on that. Ariel Kestens talking to us there from the International Federation of the Red Cross.